A very big welcome, guys, to a new series of mine, the One Season Challenges, in which I'm gonna take over a club for just one season and achieve a certain goal, like becoming champions or getting to Europe or just staying up or winning Champions League or anything. Depends on the scenario, of course. And now, for the first one, I chose my favorite club, the club that I've supported since I was, since I was born, PSV Eindhoven from the Netherlands. And I'm gonna put them in the Bundesliga, because us Dutch people, we as a football loving people, we tend to think that our clubs are a bit better maybe than they actually are. For instance, PSV got knocked out by a Croatian club called NK Osijek in the second round of the Europa League qualifiers, and that was just, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks ago. But the season before that, we actually got to the knockout stage of the Champions League. So this is the time that we decide once and for all if Dutch clubs can still perform at the top, or at least at the semi-top of European football. And that's why I set the goal for PSV in the save at European qualification. So Europa League, Champions League, I don't really care. I just want to, finish 5th, I believe it's in Germany, or 6th, or win the cup. It's another way to get into Europe. Now I also put Ajax, Amsterdam and Feyenoord also in the Bundesliga, just to see how they would get along. I simulated it through a couple of times because I made the database myself. I found that they mostly struggled at the bottom of the division. Now, and I do recognize that putting Ajax and Feyenoord in the league with me, it's gonna make things harder, because I replaced Darmstadt, Ingolstadt and Werder Bremen for PSV, Ajax and Feyenoord. So that probably makes the league a bit more difficult if I were to guess, but we'll deal with it. Alright then, to the intro. Right then, here we are at PSV in Germany, of course. I just checked the Philips Stadium, the stadium that PSV plays at. As you can see, right here, it's still in Holland. But apparently the club is from Germany now, so I don't know how that's gonna pan out. But alright, let's get you up to score, transfers wise first. The most notable because in real life I did download the transfer update, by the way, so every transfer has happened in this save. And PSV are in real life still searching for a new left back. And I went on the transfer list and I saw Ashley Young. Now I couldn't actually afford him, so I went to the board and was like, well, I want Ashley Young. And they said okay, and they got Ashley Young for me. And I believe that's the first time that actually worked in Football Manager 2017, so that's nice. So yeah, Ashley Young, really good player, of course. Can play left back, right back, left, like the inside forward role here and here. Because of course we have got Irving Lozano, our new wonder kid at PSV. I'm gonna play him in his best position, in his best role, to get the maximum out of him. Of course, because he is right-footed, I prefer to play him as an inside forward. This is the tactic as you can see here. Young is unregistered. Why is Young? This is probably a good thing to sort out just before the match. Auto select. Confirm. Does this fix it? It did. Alright, it did. So this is the team that we're gonna play with, and the tactic we're gonna play with is Zoet in goal. It's Arias, Swap, Lucassen and Ashley Young. I am probably mostly gonna play Ismaat here instead of Schwab, but Ismaat is currently out injured for 3 weeks. The midfield's gonna be Jort Hendricks, Adam Maher and Bart Ramselaar. Adam Maher, not too liked in the PSV circles, but he's gonna do the job for us because Van Ginkel is injured for 6 weeks, so we'll be without him for a bit. Then the attacking force is pretty much the same every game, I reckon. It's Luc de Jong up top, it's Lozano on the left, and it's Gaston Pereiro on the right hand side. Now of course we do got Steven Bergwijn, an amazing talent in Football Manager. I see him going to Chelsea an awful lot in this game, but he's a really good one. But since we only spent 1 season here, I don't really care about developing him or something like that. So the matches we are going to be playing today are away against Wolfsburg, and I think at home at home against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Good games to start the season off with. I also saw the third game was Bayern Munich right away, so it's a nice entry in the Bundesliga for us. Let me just quickly sort out the bench, because we only got 7 substitutes allowed, of course. Of course, I need Jürgen Locadia on the bench as a striker. Then I want Steven Bergwijn, another midfielder, probably Rigo. And then we got the Wise who can play there, and actually didn't talk about the loanees I got. This is the keeper I loaned because all the other keepers are currently injured or loaned out at PSV. It's Ivan Viar, and his wages are basically nothing, so that's why I was able to get him in after I got Ashley Young. Let's just only select the 6 substitutes. I am not paying attention. Alright, who is gonna be lucky today? It's gonna be Burnett. Alright, let's go. The tactic is pretty similar to how I always play. Just look for the overlap. It's to get the inside forwards, of course, in the center of the pitch, and fullbacks on support at the far ends of the pitch. So that's gonna be the tactic. Let's just give the passion faith. I really want to get off to a good start because, of course, the goal is Europe, and if you look at the quality of the teams in the Bundesliga, it's going to be incredibly tough because you got teams like Gladbach, Schalke, Red Bull Leipzig, Bayern München, Borussia Dortmund, all to compete with. So maybe our best gamble isn't actually the German Cup, but we'll see how it pans out. PSV, of course, now playing against a former teammate of theirs, Jeffrey Bruma. Here's John Brooks. Lucas clears it. I think Lucas is pretty much underrated in the game because he's quite a big talent actually in real life, and he's not my best centre defender by a landslide, so it's kind of odd. But of course, Football Manager 2018 has been announced. It's gonna be out, I believe, November 10th, so it's gonna be an exciting time for us. So we'll see in that game how PSV shapes up. Because a lot has happened actually. Here's Lozano, Maher into De Jong, Ramselaar, De Jong into Pereiro, and it's a great chance, but he just missed it. I actually now noticed that I'm playing on 2D, which I promised I shouldn't do anymore, so I'm gonna move it to Director probably. It's just taking a moment to load. There we are. Alright, sorry for that. Here's Pereiro, Arias with the cross. It's a great chance again from Gaston Pereiro. Let me just slow it down one bit because it's going a tad fast for my liking. It was a great chance. We didn't get the most out of it, and now we are 0-0 at half time. It should have been probably 2-0 or at least 1-0 to us. But it's a good indicator for what's to come. I'm gonna say I'm pleased with how things are going. Ashley Young lost focus. Well, shame about that. Here we are again. But yeah, I don't expect anything too spectacular from this PSV side in the Bundesliga. I'm pretty convinced that we're just gonna lose 4 and 5-0 to Bayern and Dortmund and the clubs of that caliber. But here's Pereiro, and it's his 3rd chance. I'm actually gonna take him off because I'm a bit annoyed now. Gaston Pereiro just does not produce in this game. He missed 3 clear-cut chances. And here on comes Steven Bergwijn. Ajax actually draw. I saw they at one point. Or drawing. But I thought they played yesterday against Freiburg. We'll see how they got on in the transfer window as well. Between the matches. Here's Bergwijn. With a great through pass to De Jong. It's probably going to be the keeper. It's going to be the keeper with a horrendous mistake. And De Jong managed to miss it. It is the Bundesliga curse, of course. He failed at Borussia Mönchengladbach, then blossomed in the Eredivisie in the Netherlands, and now he's back, and, well, let's hope that's not a sign of things to come. I thought there was a highlight. There is a highlight. Here's Ashley Young. It's Ashley Young, and it's 1-0 to PSV. It's Ashley Young on his debut for the club. I was quite pleased with Ashley Young when he came in. I thought it was a bit of an odd one, but he scores. And it's just about 20 minutes to go, and PSV are 1-0 up in the Volkswagen Arena against Wolfsburg. I'm gonna go a bit more defensive, also true PSV style. If you're 1-0 or 2-1 up, just go with 5 defenders. I'm gonna take off probably my hair. Yeah, I'm gonna take off my hair. It's gonna be Yuri Carolina. It's probably gonna be his debut for the club, actually. I'm gonna leave Hendricks here. Ramselaar can come there. This will be fine, and we'll go on to defensive. Alright. But yeah, the major complaint within PSV is that the youth doesn't get enough opportunities. So here we are, Carolina getting his first minutes in the PSV kit. Luke de Jong's looking exhausted and taking a knock. It's going to be Locadia on for the Young for the last 10 minutes or so. Can we hold on to this lead? It seems like we can. It would be an amazing start to the season. It's 1 minute left. Here's Daniel Schwab, the former Stuttgart man, I'd like to say. It's a mistake from Carolina, but he kind of fixes it. Here's Richetli Bazour, Yunus Mali, John Brooks. It seems like we're just going to see out this match, and it would be an amazing result to start off the season. One odd thing to mention is that we played the Johan Cruyff, the Johan Cruyff Schaal, it's called in the Netherlands. Nice catch by Zoet. And that's actually like the Dutch Super Cup, and I didn't consider that. So we played the Dutch Super Cup against Feyenoord, and we won it. 2-1, I believe, was a Lozano goal. There's Mali, and it's a great save by Jeroen Zoet. Put to work in the closing seconds of the game, but we have won 1-0 in the Volkswagen Arena. Really, really pleasing result there. Ashley Young with the goal. What a man. What a legend already. Ashley Young. Alright, let's just quickly see what the other teams are doing. Here's Ajax. They drew 0-0 to Freiburg. Let's see what they did transfer-wise. They brought in Roberto Hilbert from Leverkusen. He doesn't actually look that bad. He is 31 though. But if you need a fullback, he's probably a pretty good option. And they sold no one. They just loaned a few players out. And here, it's Feyenoord. They lost their first match at home against Dortmund 3-1. Not entirely surprising. They loaned Felix Paslak. What a great loan signing. I'm kind of jealous now. But we got Ashley Young, so I shouldn't complain. And Vinicius Araújo, also on loan from Valencia. Pretty good little striker there, nothing too spectacular. Alright, I'll be back with you for the next match against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Alright then, here we are for the game against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Arias got injured on international duty with Colombia. He's out for 5 days, so I'm actually gonna switch Young to the other side and bring in Joshua Burnett. And then I need someone who can play left back as the wise. We could probably sneak in Kenneth Paul. Maybe give him his debut for PSV. And the rest of the team, I'm pretty confident in this game. Borussia Mönchengladbach are currently top of the table after one entire match. They won 4-0 against Mainz, and it was away from home as well, I believe. So it's gonna be tough, but we knew that beforehand. I don't really care about all the interviews. There are cars passing by. It happens a lot of the time. That's the con of living in a big city. Or big city, it's not really a big city, but we do live on the edge of quite a busy driveway. I don't really know how you say it in English. A road, I guess. It's like a large road. It's offside from Lozano. Great tangent there, by the way. Now I'm aiming to make the series quite fast-paced, just like blast in, I hope like 7 episodes per challenge maybe, so it's really easy to like just skip one challenge if you don't really like it and move on to the other like that. I think that's important when you're starting YouTube. And is it gonna be a red card? Is it gonna be a red card for Wendt? It's gonna be a yellow card, which means we have a chance. I'll finish what I was saying later. After Ashley Young whips the ball in. It's into De Jong. into Schwab, and it's 1-0 to PSV. Daniel Schwab, the defender. I don't think he ever scored for us last season at all, but he scored now. It was a great cross and great nod on from Luke de Jong, and Daniel Schwab just finished it in his second game back in the Bundesliga. Great stuff. But yeah, I think it's important if you're a small starting channel that you have a not too high barrier to entry, like with the Koblenz save. If you see like, oh, he made 24 episodes and you're just starting watching, it's not really that indulging, and this fixes that. And this is not going to replace the Koblenz save at all. This is just going to be a nice side project when I'm occasionally going to slot in, I think about like 2 times a week maybe. So one challenge will probably last 3 to 4 weeks, not that much. Probably get about 4 or 5 out before Football Manager 2018 launches. But I'm going to focus on the match now against Gladbach. We are 1-0 up. We don't have the better of the play. I'm actually going to switch to counter. But we've not been bad. Ajax are trailing Hoffenheim. I quickly saw 1-0 down there. It's not on from de Jong again. Pereiro, please score it now. He does score it now. It's 2-0 to PSV Eindhoven. This is really pleasing. This is a really nice start to the season. When I saw the opening fixtures, because like it's normal that you just cover the first 2 real matches of the season, and I saw it was against Wolfsburg and Gladbach, and I was like, I don't know about that. I would rather have had like Hoffenheim and Köln or something like that maybe, but it's going well. It's going very well. Here's Pereiro on the right hand side again for us. Can he pass one man? He is past one man. Is it a solo? It's a solo, and it's a great save by Jan Sommer. What a solo by Gaston Pereiro there. It's not really a player that benefits from a lot of pace. He's quite slow for a winger actually, but he does have an amazing technique, especially in the level of the Eredivisie. It's only 50 minutes to go. I'm gonna make some stops. Jorrit Hendricks does look tired. It's gonna be Rigo, the young Belgian, in for him. And I'm gonna bring on Lucadia instead of Luke de Jong. Alright, it would be a great victory. It's another highlight. Here's Dante Rigo. I can see Dante Rigo actually becoming a wonder kid in next year's FM. He's that good. Here's Rigo. Acres of space, really. Not to my hair. Here's Bart Ramselaar into Lucadia. To the left hand side, to Joshua Brunet. In for Pereiro. And Pereiro trembles twice. And here's Irving Lozano. And it's 3-0. The young Mexican Irving Lozano scores his first in the Bundesliga, I think. He scored like 2 in the Johan Cruyff Cup, the Dutch Super Cup. And we won 5-0 a cup game before the season started. And I thought he scored in that as well. So this must be his first of the season so far. Here's Gaston Pereiro. It was a great kick by I forgot his first name. Jeroen Zoet. Here's Grifo for them. Raphael. It's gonna be a long shot. It's gonna be a long shot. It's easy for Jeroen Zoet. And it's only 8 minutes left. And we're gonna shut up shop, just like we did last time. It worked well. My hair is gonna come off. Carolina's gonna come on. Kama. Just like that. Rolls off the tongue really nicely. Carolina's gonna come on. Well, that's quite a tongue breaker that is. It's gonna be 3-0. I can't quite believe it's gonna be 3-0. We weren't even the better side, but they just haven't had any clear-cut chances. We've been really creative, and that's gonna be it. It's 3-0 to PSV Eindhoven against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Amazing start to the season. Is it gonna put a stop? That's the big question, of course. De Jong on form, 2 assists. I'll just say that. Alright, maybe not. We are currently in 3rd. They won 4-2 and 3-1 and 2-0 and 3-1. Alright, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Off to a really good start. If you enjoy the concept, if you enjoy the way I'm shaping this series up, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you don't like something, also leave a comment. It helps out so much. And we'll see you next time for episode 2.